it's still active.
I see. Anyway.
So that's two Hydro
I
Empower.
don't think I want to do Jade Sleep. I'm getting kind of sleepy. And I want to be at my full power when I... Instead, I'm gonna do Faruzan Hangout.
Oh, cringe. Wow, you're so cringe. Right. Murdered Kokomi. Here's a challenge. That's easy.
I actually haven't done Hazos.
Man, Resty, the
yet.
fucking... Resty. The fucking... Mega Kinky? Boss fight is so much easier now.
Onwards. We have work to do.
Nice. Unable to initiate quest.
It's so much easier now. You're still in goal?
Forgot to return to single player.
How much first do I have? I have 117. What should I do with it?
I don't know.
You know what? I'm not gonna use it.
Nice.
I'm gonna leave my game at the tavern when I log fight. Go fight the last guy on serious mode. Shall we disconnect then since we're gonna do fight?
Yes.
Goodbye. Have fun. Wait, are you doing Faruzan or Hazel?
Faruzan.
You should do Hazel first, man.
I know, I should do Hazel.
You should Hazel. You should Hazel.
Like I want to hate Faruzan.
Resting. If you go for
What?
If you go for Faruzan dating sim, you need to do 3 single pull.
We're right back to that, huh?
Yeah, do 3 single pulls. Get that 10. Get it to 10, Resty. If you don't go for Faruzan, you can just keep on, if you go for Hazel, you can just not do the 3 times. How does that sound?
I don't need to listen to you.
Hazel hanging, man. He's been waiting for your hangout for like 20 years now.
True.
Like, bruh, why you do that? Why you doing him like that? You're doing him dirty.
True.
Come on, Resty. Get that Hazel. Live Flame Main is here. Quick Shifter. Genshin 3.5 Global Countdown. What the fuck? There's an 11-hour video for the count. Yeah.
Nice.
Weird. Bad apple, but I ran every frame. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. Skip segment. Okay, so what is it doing exactly? Okay, so that guy, Resty, just ran Bad Apple through an AI that turned it into anime, like anime style, it's already anime style.
Quacky.
The AI thinks, the beginning part where who's the bitch, Marisa, is riding the broom?
Uh-huh.
So sleepy.
Some of that turned into cat pictures.
Amazing.
And sometimes it turns into apple. It likes turning everything into apple.
Wow. I'm not gonna do all of Faruzan. I'm just gonna go until I'm too sleepy to go for any more endings.
Yo, I'm gonna watch fucking Penguin Zero complete pizza tier list, Resty. Pizza tier list.
What?
Anyways, I'm gonna go disconnect now.
Yeah, see ya.
And we do hangout. Tell me everything tomorrow.
Yes. Let's do this. By the way, I still have my desktop audio slightly lower than my own mic. I don't know, I think it might be better, but I should probably just stick to doing that when I'm playing Mary Skelter. I'll put it back to max. Why is this happening? I didn't actually use Kaching at all in the Abyss. Well, I guess I can use her now. Hardest DI. What the hell is going on with this lag? I actually finally made it. God. Oh my god.
Even though
Oh,
most
hello,
of the
Kainar.
Academia's restrictions have significantly relaxed, I'm still a bit worried that the Matra might give her trouble.
What the fuck?
I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation. Kale, can you head to Sumeru City and find out why she isn't here yet?
Does it have to be me?
I'd only assign a job this important to someone I trust. Are you not feeling well?
Oh no, I'm fine. I've completely recovered. It's just that if I'm going to see her, I think I need to mentally prepare myself first.
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by yourself. If we could arrange for someone to accompany you...
You're in luck. Hello there.
Oh, hey there!
Hello there.
Ah, it's been a while. What a coincidence. I was just thinking about asking you to accompany Kale to Sumeru City.
Me?
Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter concerns research banned by the Academia. Not the sort of thing you'd shout from the rooftops. Also, you happen to know about this situation? There are very few people I can trust to be discreet right now. After giving it much thought, I believe you're the most suitable person for the task.
I know it.
It's complicated, and this isn't the best place to talk about it. We'll fill you in on the details once she arrives.
There's a person?
You
Looking
might
cute?
have heard about her in Sumeru before. Her name is Faruzan, and she's a very experienced senior researcher.
Experienced, you say?
Let's just say that a huge part of Kasharawar's mechanical research over the past 100 years have used her academic discourse and manuscripts as their foundation.
What's their species?
She is, but she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident. She only returned to the Academia after being found in the wilderness a few years ago. Because of that, her current personality can be a bit strange, as is her attitude towards Kale.
I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
She doesn't have bad intentions, so you don't have to be scared.
She can't be that bad.
I'll try.
Yes, Kasharawar and Spontamod researchers are often quite prejudiced, so I can't trust them with this matter. However, Faruzan isn't influenced by modern thinking. In our previous correspondence through letters, she indicated that she'd be willing to help. It's already past our arranged meeting time, but she still hasn't shown up.
Maybe she's doing some busy stuff.
I don't think so. With her personality, it's more likely that she got wrapped up in some sort of trouble. Anyway, can you go with Kale to the Academia and check on Faruzan for me?
Okay.
Thank goodness. I was so anxious.
I'm counting on you too. Kale, don't push yourself too hard. Just go there and see what's going on. Our task is important, but not that urgent. If Faruzan really is in some trouble, come back and tell me about it. We can always reschedule our meeting. After all, if she's distracted by other things, it'll affect her ability to help us.
All right, let's go.
I'd bring Kole, but I have Amber instead. You used to wear the thingy, right? Well, This is a scene I can go back to anytime I want.
Oh, yes, and one more thing. You might find her difficult to get along with at first. However, if you address her as Madam, she'll become much easier to talk to.
I have never met any woman willingly want to be called older on purpose. She's certainly a girl. And look at my mom, for instance. She's always trying to insist she's still not in her 40s.
Sorry, what did you say? Oh, could you repeat yourself? As you know, I'm sure, hearing goes with age.
Faruzan, I said that you need to give us an answer.
Ah, yes. And did you forget to add Madam when you addressed me earlier?
Your hearing is perfectly fine. Madam Faruzan, we don't want to make things difficult for you. However, you haven't been teaching courses or supervising theses these past few years. Isn't this rather problematic as an advisor?
She's a
Never mind
she's
the
a
students.
teacher.
Even other advisors are starting to complain.
And who, if I may ask, complained? If they have any issue with me, tell them to talk to me themselves rather than waste any of your time. You don't have to tell me anything. I very well know that it's those people from Haravatat. How I wish they'd put their time into doing proper research instead.
But, Madam Faruzan, it has been a long while since you last made any practical academic contribution yourself.
Academic contribution cannot simply be divided between the tangible and the intangible. The issue here, I believe, is that the reviewer doesn't understand the very nature of knowledge itself. In any case, it makes no sense to use a metric like this to evaluate a mentor. Which sage set this rule anyway? I should write a letter of complaint right this instant.
Wait! Madam Faruzan, please let me finish.
That's her, all right. But the person with her doesn't look like a Matra.
She's the old hag?
Shh! She hates it when people call her young! Her body
Again, that's
apparently
impossible.
stopped aging during the year she was gone. So that's why she looks the same as she did 100 years ago.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm ready for this. Let's go!
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Kasharawar would like to invite you to collaborate on this project. They're wondering if you'd be interested. Madam Faruzan? Are you listening?
She heard some whippersnappers talking.
Ah, Kale! Why are you here at the Academia? Are you feeling better now? I'm much better, Madam Faruzan. It's all thanks to the Traveler and the Dendro Archon. Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing some eye bags. Is that brat Tainari forcing you to stay up late again? No, it's because I'm a slow learner. It's not Master's fault. It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your health. I'll have to give Tainari a right talking to when I see him.
Yes,
I'll
and
also prepare
speaking
some health
of that,
supplements for you. There's really no need.
oh my god, she really is like an old
Beside
lady.
you, the legendary Traveler?
Hello, madam.
Oh, I've heard much about you before. In fact, I've been meaning to meet you for a while now. It is thanks to you, after all, that the Academia is finally getting back on its feet. Even Kale's illness is...
Madam Faruzan, I believe we were still discussing the collaboration with Akara Crafts.
Ah, Akara Craft.
I'd wager it's those Kasharawar dunderheads finding excuses so that I'd go to their darshan. Say no more. I have no plans to change my field of research.
If you're this unwilling to participate in the collaborative project, you can also consider teaching a class. It might be difficult to teach a course with topics that only fall within Haravatat's subjects, but we can't delay this anymore. You need to give an answer. You can teach a course or participate in a collaborative project. If you don't do either, it'll be hard for me to persuade the advisors and students who have been complaining.
Oh boy, some eternal drama. I don't want to get involved.
Could you not give me a few more days to consider? This matter has been delayed for so long already.
That's precisely the issue. If you don't give an answer today, I fear that someone will soon escalate their complaints to the sages.
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tainari's behest, I take it. I'm sorry, but given the current situation, it looks like I'll have to come over some other day.
Let me borrow Cole real quick.
Of course. I shall need some time to think as well.
What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Paradise DI, so he hasn't returned to Gandharville for several days now. I feel for Madame Faruzan, but I still want to ask her to come with us. But if I get her in trouble with the academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. What should I do? Oh, this is such a headache.
I don't really want to deal with the academia any more than I have. And I'm not even getting paid for this. But whatever, let's help her.
Yeah, that would be the best for them both. I'll check with Master later and see if there's anything I
Not
can help
even
him
being
with.
remunerated.
But I'm sure he'll say, the best thing you can do now is study hard, so I don't have to give you remedial lessons.
And you should do that. I'll take care of this on my own.
Huh? Oh yes! This way she can get her problem sorted out quickly, and then she can go see Master. So if I also stay and help... that still sounds kinda scary.
Just wait.
Okay then. I'm counting on you.
I have to teach students from Haravatat or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can sympathize with them.
We're back, Madame Faruzan. The Traveler said that she can stay and help you.
Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person the Traveler is. You were the one who taught Azara a lesson after all. That said, will I be troubling you?
I solve problems all the time. That being said, if your problem is me specifically, I'm afraid we have a problem.
Is that so? Good. It does so happen that I do have something I need help with. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or join the collaborative project that Kasharawar is proposing? Honestly, I don't want to choose either of them.
Is there a third option? I guess not. So about the course.
You might have heard of it before. Haravatat is an academic faction that researches languages and runes. 100 years ago, Madame Faruzan was a researcher from that darshan.
Now, not was. Still am.
Yes, of course. But current Haravatat students can't really, understand her direction of research. So even if she opened a course, chances are that no one would attend.
What?
In summary,
It's learning
I mean to
another
interpret
language.
the configurations and solutions of ruin mechanisms via the
I thought that was
deciphering of
quite standard
on-site
for the
stone carvings
academia.
and unearthed documents. It'll include research into general documents dealing with such ancient machines.
The research method is supported by Haravatat, yes, but the content deals heavily with both ruins and mechanisms. This will make it difficult for students of this darshan because they don't understand much about mechanisms. Also, there are fewer and fewer unexplored ruins left nowadays, and Ksharuar researchers have been developing their own theories on mechanisms. As such, they don't need to rely on ancient documents.
In other words, she's outdated.
They're far too complacent. Ancient mechanisms are more dangerous and complex than one might imagine.
Oh my
I'm
god, she
telling
talks
you,
like an
things
old
weren't
lady
like this
too.
100 years ago. All
Yep, here it
researchers back
comes.
then were interested in exploring knowledge from a variety of topics. They also gave more respect to unknown mechanisms. Nowadays, all people are interested in are mainstream subjects in popular research. Even if they attended my course, I wouldn't be interested in teaching them. Also, the people here think that my research is outdated and unrealistic, so they keep cutting my funding. Why, I think they could all stand to learn from Kale. She's a hard-working child and respects her elders.
Oh my
Why
god!
me?
You're still here?
Ah, if only those who came to my lectures were more like you. Speaking of which, are you feeling better? You don't have to confine yourself to Gandharvaville anymore, right?
I just
would-
remembered that I have a lot of studying to do. I need to head back and find Master.
I would like to suggest an idea. How about students, right? And teaching.
Are you telling me to start a reading course for Kale?
Wait. Although Tainari has academic dealings with the academia, he isn't considered part of it. This means that Kale isn't technically a student.
Well, does she have to?
No, she's right. The old academia became consumed by their arrogance precisely because they ignored the public. There must surely be many people like Kale and Sumeru who are passionate about learning but cannot study due to various reasons. The old academia paid no heed to them. But if I start a reading course for Kale as a pilot, perhaps this shall come to benefit many more people in the future.
I'll need to go back and ask if this is in accordance with regulations.
Oh, save yourself the extra trouble. I'll come with you. If there's any arguments to be had, we shall sweep them aside together.
What?
Traveler, Kale, do wait for us a little while outside the academia. I'll be back in just a moment.
Wait! Let's catch up with her.
Oh my god, she's a fucking gender bent worst version of Aang. Aang very much acted a lot like an old man. A lot of the times in the original show. But oh my god. Faruzan takes it to a whole new level. Cause yeah, Faruzan and Aang are actually kinda similar. I kinda hate how I'm realizing and noticing this comparison. They both have the ability to control the air. They both were asleep for 100 years and are now having to deal with the consequences of being away for 100 years. PTSD and all. Well, it's not really PTSD.
I can't believe she rushed right in after we arrived. She's really headstrong.
I'll be right
How
back.
did things turn out like this?
having a cold sucks. Anyway, it was my solution bad?
No, not really. Madame Faruzan is a brilliant scholar. Even Master thinks so. If she's really going to teach me how to read, it'll definitely be much better than me bashing my head against the wall. It's just that she can get a bit too passionate sometimes. I don't know how to handle that.
She treats you like you're her daughter or something. Granddaughter.
Maybe it's because she wants to take me in as a student? It's just like that researcher said. The academia has completely changed during the 100 years that Faruzan was gone. I don't
You
really
would know
get
anything
it,
about that.
but it does seem like Haravitat's students aren't optimistic about the prospects of doing research with her. Students who are interested in mechanisms and applications of the elements generally enroll in Kasharawar and Spontamod. Madame Faruzan also refuses to accept random students just to make up numbers. She still hasn't found a student she likes, even after all this time back.
Maybe she wants to run a kindergarten.
But she seems to like my attitude toward learning, so she often asks me if I'm willing to become her student. It's because I'm a slow learner that I have no choice but to stay up late and study. Whenever she compliments me, I feel really guilty.
So all I really hear here is that the problem isn't Faruzan, but you.
It's not that. Madame Faruzan respects my choices. She hasn't been trying to persuade me, especially since she knows I need to rest and recuperate. She sometimes brings food to Gandharvaville for me, and each time she says that Master can't find out.
Yeah, definitely sounds like she treats you like her granddaughter.
Now that you mention it, it does feel a bit like that. Do I really look that young?
You have the
Hi,
mental capacity
traveler.
of a child.
Thank you for waiting. The issue has been resolved.
What?
I argued with the higher-ups and convinced them of the practicality and necessity of educating the general public. If I'm not mistaken, they're the students of my classmates' students. They're a lot less forceful than their predecessors, though. I'd say they caved rather quickly.
Bro,
Amazing.
did she have some sort of leverage?
It's just that we need to fill in every single page of the application. It's been a century, but the academia is as picky as ever. Let's see now. What do we need to fill in? Course name, learning objectives, teaching methods, course materials. I suppose we can fill in the course name last.
This is a literature subject, right?
That's a bit too general, I'd say. After all, this class's target audience isn't toddlers or children, but rather people who already know the basics of reading.
Yes.
As such, we'll need a more specific learning objective. How about proficiency in reading and writing?
That's true. If we use children's teaching materials, we'll only end up wasting a lot of time on things that students would already know.
And you have your job as a forest ranger, Kale. People who attend this course in the future are also likely to have life commitments. We need more effective teaching methods.
Cole, how do you learn?
Master always tells me that practice is the best way to learn. That's why I often ask him to help me find simple books to read.
It must have been difficult to get books in Sumeru in recent years, no? Tainari really went the extra mile for you.
What do you mean?
Expanding
There's like a really
literacy
large
is a capital
library.
notion. Now that the academia is easing restrictions on the circulation of books, there should be more people who have become interested in reading. It's a great time to conduct this course.
So, how do we start?
So that's next on the list. I fear that I'm at a loss as to which books youngsters like nowadays. Would The Legend of Antara be too old of a story?
How old? When was it published?
Fair. Kale, what have you been reading lately?
Me? I've been reading light novels from
She
Mizuma.
wants to be hip with the
I heard
kids.
that ever since we were allowed to sell books in Sumeru again, Some people set up stalls at Treasure Street to sell
Oh
light
no,
novels.
light
I've
novels.
been meaning to go there and check it out.
Light novels? This is my first time hearing about such a thing, but I doubt I will procure suitable teaching materials from the House of Dana. Treasure Street it is.
Oh no.
Wait for us, Madame Faruzan!
Light novels are typically...
You wouldn't think someone as fast as her is over 100. Let's pick up the pace and catch up to her.
Yeah, I'm eating something right now. Wait. Yeah. Light novels are such a weird part of Japanese culture to me. They're written literature that's specifically targeted towards teenagers and stuff. But like, why?
What a long and mildly ungrammatical title.
Why is the
And
most
why is the
common
cover so
form of
colorful?
literature enjoyed
Is this your first
by
time
the
seeing a light novel, ma'am?
Japanese,
Oh, they're the most
specifically
popular
targeting
books nowadays.
such
Would
a
you like me to
specific
recommend
culture?
something?
Unlike here,
Fine.
where there's books for children,
shouldn't judge a
for
book by its cover
teens,
after
for
all.
adults, for old people.
Maybe browse through the books here.
Of course. Why don't you try this one? It's Outlander Brigade, When the Wind of Death Blew Towards the Blonde Samurai.
What a title. I'm sure Faruzan's gonna complain.
I heard that this book's author describes action in vivid detail.
Now I've only skimmed through a few pages, but it feels like it's all fight scenes. There are only subjects and predicates, and the syntax is a tad simple.
And I think that's
Subjects?
kind of the point of
Predicates?
if you want to write a
The
fast-paced
protagonist just
action.
ends up fighting in every scene with no proper build-up. Will anyone even enjoy a story that's only comprised of fights?
Sadly, yes.
How about... the good thing about being reincarnated as a hilly churl is that I only need to eat sunsettias to become
I've
stronger.
read that. I know that.
A reincarnation isekai story?
Oh
Those
my
are pretty
god,
popular
they
right
actually
now.
use the word isekai.
Isekai? What in the world is that? Also, why does it become stronger by eating sunsettias?
Tropes. It's fucking weird.
Tropes? Those fictional rules used to push the plot forward, yes? They're definitely effective in achieving a distancing effect.
Sorry. What is this distancing
I'm afraid I
effect?
don't know either, and I'm a
However,
writer.
this book doesn't explain how reincarnation correlates to becoming stronger. Such an illogical rule will affect the coherence of the story. Will readers really accept this?
Sometimes, writers really do just put in tropes because they think they need to put it in their story. And yes, readers really do just genuinely are that stupid. Like me.
How about this? I had to fight tooth and nail to get this in stock.
Oh, that's the latest volume of Onibudo!
Now
I
that's
still
a rather
genuinely
normal
think
titling.
the weakest part.
Oh, Kale, do you like this series?
Yes, but I don't like it that much.
Oh no. Yes, most light novels are indeed targeted towards someone like Cole. And fucking, what was I saying? Right. Fucking villainess. I'm in love with the villainess and stuff. I still think the weakest part of that story is indeed the isekai aspect of it. I don't want to go on a tangent about it, so I'll just leave it at that. Because otherwise this video will turn into me gushing about I'm in love with the villainess again.
Madam, are you going to use this series as teaching material?
Let me see. The dialogue flows quite well, but there are too many phrases here that I don't recognize. Third eye of perception, illusory mirror, and so on. Are these terms that are tied to tropes?
I also thought those names were strange when I was reading them.
It might... I mean, that isn't the first volume, right? It's probably a continuity thing.
It's impossible to derive the meaning of these phrases in isolation. Also, their morphological properties are quite pedestrian, really. Or did the protagonist purposely create these strange names to disorient their foes?
In anime, you can get away with anything. If you give something a name and you say it out loud, it is common courtesy to let the opponent just do the cool attack and shout its name.
So there's no deeper purpose. It's quite hard to understand stories written these days.
Why am I relating with
You're right.
Faruzan?
It's such a weird
I'm
book.
supposed to hate her right now.
But you keep wanting to read the next page.
Even the most popular book in Sumeru back then had greater depth than anything written today.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yes, a Bahumano researcher wrote it while researching folk legends. The plot had many twists. The world building was fantastic, and even the writing could withstand scrutiny. When it was still being published, many people in the academia were reading it. Even the sages back then all described the story as a timeless classic. The series must have concluded after so many years, right? Perhaps it's even more popular now.
Is there a book like that in Sumeru? I've never heard of such a thing before. What's the title?
It's called Tales of Shariar. Do you sell it here?
Tales of Shariar? I don't think I've heard of that before.
Oh no, what if it's so
When
old
was it
it's
published?
actually all
About 100 years ago.
records of it have
100
been
years ago? Are you pulling my leg? What sort of book can remain popular for 100 years?
a
The
timeless
Legend of Antara
classic.
is popular to this very day, isn't it? I just heard someone telling it a few days ago in a cafe. If an old story like that is still being shared, then Tales of Shariar must be even more popular.
Even if
Based.
that is the case, I really don't carry that book here in my store.
What? Is that because of the academia's strict control over books in recent years?
Oh no.
I can't believe they've allowed the people of Sumeru to become so uncivilized. How can they not know about the Tales of Shariar?
Tales of Shariar? Oh, wait. I think I heard an antique seller on the other end of Treasure Street mention that name before. I mean, it is a book from 100 years ago. Why don't you try asking for it there?
An
Tales
antique.
of Shariar is considered an antique now? How could the academia have let such an excellent work of literature be forgotten like this? Traveler, Kale, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's meet at the antique sellers.
You know, that is a genuine
Madam,
dream
wait!
of mine.
Oh no, this is bad.
Manga and light novel has already existed for a while. That some people have probably already experienced this, but like being an old guy now and trying to experience the books that you've read that were still just ongoing before but are now finished. Like, I'd want to go on a cryostasis chamber sleep. Anyway, what's happening?
You asked me why I'm scared of Madame Faruzan, right? It's not because I don't know how to respond to her kindness. It's because I'm afraid of that ancient language she researches, because I can barely understand any of it. What if she uses ancient texts as teaching material?
It's just a really old book. I'm pretty sure the only real problem we'll come across is if they're using old slang. Like homie or fam.
Even so, what if researchers from 100 years ago like to use ancient languages in their books? We've got to catch up to her!
And anyone remember that old lingo? Oh man, I sound like an old man now. But yes, yo, what's up, lit fam? Now it's L plus ratio. What the heck is language gonna be like in the future, and even further down the future?
Found it! The 5th volume of Tales of Shariar.
Wow, you actually found it!
I never thought this book would ever get sold.
All right, That's our teaching material secured. We also now know what to call this course. Analysis of Classical Texts. After all, this book is definitely worthy of being called a classic.
Can I take a look?
I'm quite curious too.
Luckily, the language being used here isn't ancient at all. I can recognize a few words here and there. Huh? But why aren't there pictures in this book?
As long as the writing is good, readers won't need any illustrations to imagine the scenes. Worry not. I shall thoroughly explain the difficult sections. You'll like this book. I know it. After all this time, I wonder if Aaliyah and Aziz ended up together.
Oh no, she has a
And who
ship.
obtained the Desert Gem in the end? Sir, do you have the subsequent volumes of this series?
I don't think so.
Is that so? And here I thought I could finally read the ending. Never mind. I'll keep searching for the later volumes myself.
Anyway,
If I'm to use it as a teaching material,
Sumeru use an
it's better to
entirely
start
different
earlier in the series.
language or something
Where are the first 4 volumes?
in the
Why aren't they
past?
all together?
I don't have those either. Actually, this is the only volume I have.
Where did
Is
you
this
get
series
it?
really that popular?
No. It's not popular at all. Rather, there's absolutely no demand for it.
No demand? Impossible. Back then, I'd come across at least 3 groups of people talking about it during a single stroll at the academia.
Seriously? No one told me that this book was anything special when I first got it.
You sound so depressed.
Where did you get this from? Can you still contact the seller?
I'm afraid not. This book was sold together with a whole bunch of antique furniture. I didn't even notice it initially.
Huh.
Otherwise, the Matra would have come knocking. Wait, is this book actually worth a lot? It can't be, right?
It's old, but sadly, not all old things are valuable.
That's impossible. No matter how strict the academia
Some are
was,
just
there's no way Tales of
expired.
Shariar could have fallen into such a state.
I do remember a passerby skimming through the book a few days ago. However, he simply sighed and left.
What's up with that?
He sighed? Why would he react like that? Given the quality of Tales of Shariar, he should have been entranced after a single glance. I'm sorry. Traveler, Kale, please give me a moment. I'd like to look through this book first.
Oh no. It's not a very good
Why
habit.
is there another misunderstanding between Ali and Aziz? Also, why is there no mention of the Desert Gem at all? And a
Oh,
new character is introduced with no foreshadowing at all? Also,
oh no.
what are all these new names and terms?
Oh no.
Is this really the Tales of Shariar I know?
Well, that passerby reacted in much the same way.
Oh no, it's a My Hero Academia case.
It's Mada from the cafe over there. You know, the fellow who spends all day telling the legend of Antara. Since that's also a very old story, maybe he knows a thing or two about that, Tales of, whatever it's called.
Then let's go ask around at the cafe. Huh? Madam Faruzan?
Huh? Oh, yes. Let's go.
She's so depressed. I can relate.
Anyway, is there anything else here that's caught your eye? As long as the price is reasonable, I can give you this book as a bonus.
I'm a fan of fictional books. Non-fiction's good too, as long as the topic's interesting. And the length is relatively short. Unless it's a dictionary. I'd want that to be thick. I want the dictionary. That'd be so nice. Darn whippersnappers! Back in my day!
Another day, another empty room.
Excuse me? But are you Mada?
Yes! Are you here to listen to my story?
No.
Well, we actually came to ask about something else.
I see.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm used to it, more or less. So, how can this terribly unpopular storyteller help you?
Do you know about Tales of Shariar?
Huh? Tales of Shariar? Why, I can barely remember the last time anyone talked about it. My master always talked about how incredibly popular that book used to be. However, I tried reciting a few chapters of it at the cafe, and I found that it's even less popular than the Legend of Antara.
Your master?
Yes, the one who taught me how to be a storyteller. He said that Tales of Shariar was written by his master's master's master. He also said that this great-great-grandmaster was an academia researcher, and that even the sages liked the series.
That
He
lights
wrote
up.
4 volumes back then, and the reviews just got better and better. You couldn't find a single person in Sumeru who hadn't read his books.
And then? What happened next? Why doesn't anyone know about Tales of Shariar now?
Oh, it's hard to tell when it comes to trends. One day everyone likes stories like that, and the next day their tastes change completely. Instead of writing a proper ending, this great-great-grandmaster kept trying to extend the story.
Yikes.
To tap into popular trends, he added a lot of tropes. Then, starting from the 5th volume, the reviews started to go downhill.
How could that be? Then what happened to Tales of Shariar in the end?
It probably got
In
canned.
the end, there's no ending. The great-great-grandmaster tried to write a few more volumes, following whatever trends were popular at the time, but the trends kept changing right as he published his books. He got so infuriated that he stopped writing altogether and focused on his research instead.
What? So there's no ending? The readers didn't care?
By that time, only a very small number of people were reading Tales of Shariar.
Have you considered going to
my
Liyue?
master probably exaggerated.
As long as you don't show up
How
at
could
my
a work
commissions
possibly have been
again.
that popular? The only tangible thing
Actually,
my
probably would be great since I
great-great-grandmaster
didn't
left is
record
the
it.
original draft of Legend of Antara. He also left behind many theses from his research phase. When my master talked about Legend of Antara, he'd even quote from those theses. My master is a much better storyteller than me. Even when we're telling the same story about Antara, he's always able to draw in a huge crowd. But even he won't recite Tales of Shariar due to its ever-changing writing style and its lack of an ending.
So, Antara's story is the one that lasted through the years.
Well, not even sages can definitively ascertain the quality of something like a story. In the end, only time can separate the classics from the fads.
Only time?
Madam Faruzan?
Ooh,
It's been 100 years. Perhaps some things I once believed to be great aren't so after all.
indeed, that is indeed how a classic is defined. People only ever really care about what you did, what a person did in life when they're finally dead. A very recent example I could give, although he was still very much a well-renowned researcher in his time. I actually forgot his name. Like, he was like in a wheelchair and talked on with AI speech or whatever. Yeah, anyway, looks like the story isn't all that similar to My Hero Academia after all. My Hero Academia sucked because it was trying its best to end as quickly as possible. That one's the opposite. I guess it might be more accurate to say it's similar to Rent a Girlfriend, where they just keep trying to extend the series. And at some point, yeah, I just dropped it. I just didn't care anymore. Anyway, you don't really have to worry about that. Other people's opinions are other people's opinions.
Yeah! Master helped me find a lot of famous books at first, but in the end,
Although I would
realized
be
that I
very sad if
couldn't get into
JoJo's
them.
Bizarre Adventure
No matter
end
how
up
good those
becoming
stories
unpopular
are,
in the future.
I can't improve my skills if I can't bring myself to read them in the first place. I think the best books for me are the ones I like.
I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with reading comprehension, but it works.
Huh. Indeed. That is true. Readers' interest in trends of a time are not things that are so easily predicted. What was popular 100 years ago could be completely forgotten in modern times, and yet 100 years, as far as history is concerned, is but a blink of an eye. If Tales of Shariar hadn't chased after trends and instead stuck to its original style from start to finish, it might have stood some chance of gaining renewed popularity. No, even if that didn't happen, at least it would be a work that was true to itself.
Huh? Our conversation just got a lot more serious.
I agree.
I don't really get what you're talking about, but it does sound sensible. Looks like I also have to hang in there and tell Antara's story well.
Try to get a stable income first.
How unseemly. I almost got carried away because of a single book. Well then, we should get back to the matter of our teaching material.
Yes, I hope that's not
It
a
looks like
habit.
we can't use Tales of Shariar now.
Getting distracted is a very bad personality trait for a researcher to have. I have it and I don't like it.
No, it's much too old.
Oh.
Kale, you found a book that you liked at the bookstall, yes?
Yes, but I don't really...
Then we'll use that book as our teaching material. Now that I think about it, using a book that you like is the most suitable choice for teaching you how to read. As for the academia, as long as we come up with an appropriate course name, we should be able to get away with this.
Appreciation of popular literature.
My, it sounds like you've dealt with the academia before. Let's go with that. Now then, let's return to the book vendor in a bit and buy the latest volume of this Onibudo for Kale. Ah, but if I wish to use it as teaching material, I have to read it first.
Huh?
Speaking of which, other than third eye of perception and illusory mirror, I also espy some unfamiliar
Hey, third
phrases
eye of
from the reader's
perception, isn't
messages
that-
at the back of the book. Such things as, even if it reminds me of my dark history, I still can't help but be drawn in by the story. And the author has written all the things that I only dare whisper into a tree hollow. Why do people use dark history to refer to awkward or embarrassing memories? Is this some slang that was invented in the last century? If one of our learning objectives was researching linguistic changes over the past 100 years, it might make it easier to get these books approved as teaching material.
Oh, I can tell you what that's all about. Apparently, in their youth, some people used to imagine themselves as someone burdened by fate, fighting against the world, etc. But as they grew older, they started to become embarrassed by such memories. Some would write those fantasies into novels, while others would entrust such tales to tree hollows.
Mata? You know, I suddenly have the urge to hear a story about Antara.
Huh? Why so suddenly?
Don't worry about the whole dark history thing, I'd say.
I knew it. There will always be people who love the golden oldies. Now, let me tell you all
Did we
about
ask-
the ancient hero, Antara.
Well, there goes all that character development. That was cute. The whole little character arc that Faruzan goes through about learning to let go of the
In
past.
adventuring, as in business, you always have to seize the opportunity
Something
while
old
it's
people,
there.
something a lot of old people need to go through. An important character arc for any old person to go through. Anyway, that was an hour long. And I don't really feel like going any further. So for now, that one ending's all you're getting out of me. Let's just get the reward and see the roadmap before we go. God, I recorded 3 videos. I gotta upload them all. At least tomorrow's Thursday, and Thursday's the last day. Wrong button. Oh.